What's up, everybody? So in this video, we're going to be discussing the differences between when a collection account has purchased the debt versus when they've been contracted by the original creditor to collect on the debt. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is the contracted part. This is typically when the original creditor has went out, they've sought out a collection company, and they've paid them to collect on a certain amount of debts for their company. So one of the banks that I'm very familiar with that does this is CIBC. I believe at the current moment they heavily use partners in credit. But again, this can change because all of these are based off of contracts, right? So usually when CIBC has an account that goes into collections and they don't want to sell it, they want to have it contracted out. They're going to use partners in credit, and then partners in credit will then contact those that owe them the money. Okay, so you'll notice this a lot. Now, the reason why it's important that you're able to differentiate between it being contracted out or if it's been sold over to the collection company is because it's going to show differently on your credit report. So if it's just been contracted, and we'll use my CIBC example, just for the purpose, for simple purposes, what you're going to see is that that debt is still going to be reflected over on CIBC. So let's just say it was for a credit card that was $1,000. That CIBC account is going to move to the closed section within your credit report. So if you use Credit Karma or Borrowwell to check your credit score, the account is going to update as closed, but you're still going to see that balance on that account. Um, you won't see anything in collection. So this is where a lot of people get confused on what is a true collection account and what's not. Now, this isn't a collection account. What this is actually it's termed as a charge-off account because CIBC's wrote it off as a tax write-off, but they're still going to have partners in credit pursue you to try to collect on that debt. Okay, so you won't have anything in your collection section, but you would see that account in your collection account. People will contact me and say, "Well, how do I dispute this? How do I work towards getting this removed?" It, if you don't have a true collection account, that is an extremely good news for you. You don't want a collection account because I'm telling you right now, it's a headache dealing with collection companies. They're not fun to deal with, and in most situations, they're going to take advantage of you. They're going to run you around. They're going to tire you out until you eventually just decide them to pay for the debt. So, if anything, you want to try to avoid having collection accounts in all instances. I know most people kind of joke around and they say, "Hey, I'm not going to pay the debt. I'm just going to let it go to collections. I'm going to let it age off," right? But there's so much more that comes with it. It's not that simple. It's never that simple. It's a fairly complex situation. And me and my team, we help our clients. We deal with this every day, and it's a long process. It's not something that you can just fix overnight. So I know you probably see other videos online, and you see information about just letting accounts age off or just disputing it. But this it's not something you can fix overnight, right? Something that I always say is that it took you years to get in this situation. It's not going to be changed overnight, right? So if you have a collection account, get ready for a long ride. Get ready to commit the next 2, 3 years to disputing it. Now there are instances to where you can get it removed a lot sooner, but for the general population, I'm going to say get ready for the next 2, 3 years of you disputing that account or trying to work with them to get that off of your credit report. Now, back to the topic of the video. If you have a charge-off account, an account that's been contracted out to a collection company, that's good news. Call the creditor that you owe the money to and just try to pay off the account. You may even be able to negotiate a pay for deletion with them, right? Because at the end of the day, we have to use common sense. What this all is about is just them getting their money back. That's money that you owe them. I know a lot of us, we believe that we don't owe these companies money, but you signed off on this debt. Like it's your debt. So you owe them this money. Just give them a call back. If it's not sent to collections, give them a call back. You can try to do pay for deletion with let's just say we have my partners in credit situation. You can try to do pay for deletion with them and try to get that account removed off of your credit report. That way you can just move forward with your life. You improve your credit, but don't make it difficult than what it needs to be. Because again, these creditors, they still reserve the right to sue you. Now, I'm not a lawyer, I'm just a credit specialist, but every province has its own statute of limitations, right? So you would need to do research or you would need to work with a consumer lawyer so that if you have debt looming over your head and a creditor may legally pursue you, you want to be prepared for that, right? So by you going ahead and just paying off that debt instead of trying to play around and say, "Hey, I'm going to play this game where I'm just going to wait and let it age off," you're actually protecting yourself by paying off that debt. Because if you just pay it off, no one's going to sue you, right? Now, just because you don't pay it off is not a guarantee that they will sue you, but the possibility is always there. And I think what I found in being in this industry a lot of times is that the client, they just want peace of mind. They want peace of mind and they want to know that, hey, I'm okay. So in most situations where my client, they don't have, let's say, a collection account, but they just have some charge-off accounts, I'm gonna tell them, go pay that debt off. That's debt that you owe. And you and I both know that you owe it. Right now, there are instances to where there's mistakes, there's errors on the credit report, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. You owe that debt, you need to pay it back. Okay, so don't make the situation more complicated than what it needs to be. Now, as far as a debt that has been sold to collection companies, this is going to be structured a little bit differently on your credit report. So, if it's on your if it's been sold to a collection company, that debt that was with the original creditor, it should update as a $0 balance. Now, even though it updates as a $0 balance, it should also reflect as a closed account. Because again, this was a tax write-off by the creditor. They closed it. The account should be showing as zero, but that does not mean that the debt has disappeared. You need to go to your collection section of your credit report. That debt has now been transferred to the collection company and now showing in the collection section of your credit report. So it's just been transferred. Now, it's a great tool, and I love the credit report because it shows you who owns the debt, okay? And it gives you the name, it gives you the account number. That way, if you want to dispute it, you can. If you want to contact the collection company and work things out, you can. But if it's on your credit report as a collection account, this is where things you have to start doing work, okay? So not only do you have this charge-off account weighing you down, hurting your credit, because again, with charge-off accounts, there's usually at least 3 to 6 late payments on that account that's hurting your credit. And then on top of that, we have a collection account that goes with it, right? So there's a lot that goes into this that hurts your credit. And this is why I say credit isn't something that you're just going to fix overnight. It took you years to get to this point. So before the creditor can even send it or sell it to a collection company, they're going to give you 6 months. So there's probably been 6 months to where you haven't made a payment. And then they finally say, you know what, we're going to give up on this guy or this girl, and because they're not paying us, and we're going to sell it to a collection company. So that's why I say it's a long process because you went through a long process to get to this point. And the whole time, and I'll use CIBC as an example, the bank has been calling you. They've been calling you, trying to work things out. So many people don't try to work things out. You can fix things, you can work things out before it gets to this point. Just communicate with the bank. Be honest. So many people lie about their situation. It's okay to be honest because the banks, they are a business. They're in it for profit. And they want those interest payments. They don't want to have to send this debt to collections. Because for them, even though they get to write it off as a tax write-off and then sell it for a fraction of the price to a collection company, for them that's still a loss. That's not a win for them. They want to be able to get those interest payments. They are in the interest business and they want those accounts to stay active. So if you contact them and you say, hey, CIBC, I lost my job this month, they may give you a grace period until you're able to get back on your feet, to get signed up for EI, whatever it may be, whatever program you're gonna get into to kind of help you out. They're gonna be there to help you and assist you. They may even be able to add to give you a debt consolidation loan. You just never know. It's everything differentiates based off of your situation, but you won't know what options you have until you communicate with that creditor. So when you have a collection account on your credit report, again, it's going to show up in the collection section, and the account should have the balance in the collection section and not on the original account. If it does, then that means that that account is reporting inaccurately. Now, as soon as you have that collection account showing, we know that the collection company most likely owns the debt. You're going to want to start disputing that account. Again, a collection account is detrimental to your credit score. You dispute the account, you request for proof of debt, very simple process. If they're not willing to provide you proof of debt, then you need to dispute directly with Equifax and TransUnion. You need to let that collection company know that if they don't provide you proof of debt, that you're going to escalate matters, you're going to submit complaints to the Ministry of Finance, and you're going to raise issues with Equifax and TransUnion. These are the entities that hold these companies accountable. Okay, so there's a lot of resources. Even though you may have collection accounts or whatever you may have in your credit report, there's always a way to bounce back. But you need to have the mindset that, hey, this is going to take a long time, but I need to be willing to put the work into it. If you're working with someone like let's say for example, like myself, we operate a credit repair business. Let's just say you go with another credit repair company. If they're promising you everything under the moon to be able to fix your credit, just run away, run away. Any legitimate credit repair company, they're going to tell you it's going to take a long time, and you need to be prepared for that, right? Because again, this stuff does not get fixed overnight. Now, I have had clients that have finished in record times. Let's say we've had clients finish in 4 months, 5 months. But for the average client, it could take you up to a year. It could take you up to a year. It could take you up to two, right? And it all varies and it depends on what's on your credit report. So you need to keep that stuff in mind. Don't allow accounts to go into collections. If that's my message in every video that I have, that I've done my job. Don't allow accounts to go into collections because it's always going to be an uphill battle from there. Okay, but it's important if you are in this situation, in this situation, understand who owns the debt, who doesn't own the debt, because that's going to allow you or guide you on how you should move forward with paying the debt back or disputing it. Now, I understand this is a lot of information. If you need help with your credit, my team is here. Uh, I have over 10 teammates. I know behind the camera is just me. It's just me. You just see me, but I have 10 teammates. Okay. And if you include myself, it's 11 of us. We are here to help our clients. We've served thousands of clients across Canada. We've assisted in every province, and I'm extremely proud of that. And my team works extremely hard for our clients. But you have to have the right mindset if you want to work with us. Because if you have the mindset of, oh, I'm trying to get a house in 3 months, we're going to be honest with you. We're going to say that's not going to work, right? So if you need help with your credit, send us an email, info@kennyjohnsonuniversity.com. We would be extremely happy to help you out. And then you can always leave a comment if you have a question, leave it in the comment section, and we'll be happy to help too. Until next time, take care. Talk soon.